Hey, Chainsaw Ninja here. If you're watching this, it means you signed up to a tournament for Duel TNT. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate having you here. This video is just to let you know some of like the procedure and details of the tournament so everything runs smoothly. Especially if you're new to doing this, please watch this video. Okay, so first off, of course, the first thing you need to know is the tournament website, tickbytick.club. If you registered, you probably already came to this website. It has the tournament information right here. The upcoming tournament this Saturday is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. UTC time, so that's the time zone it's in, not necessarily your local time, very likely. If you do want to know what the time is for your local time, just Google UTC time zone and you will see what it is in UTC time. So currently it's 8 o'clock in UTC and it's 1 o'clock here, so I know I'm 7 hours behind it. So I know for it starting at 8 p.m. here, it starts at 1 p.m. for me. It's just some basic math. You can get the hang of it. Do know that for the 1v1 tournament, because a lot of people signed up for the upcoming one, it's probably going to go a little bit later than usual, so expect it to go a little bit late. We're going to try to keep it on track. Also, the stream and the practicing starts at least like an hour before even the first match. So if you want to come in, have a good time, watch the stream, hear some people talk about their thoughts on things, and just have a good time, definitely show up early. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so the next thing, the bracket. The bracket is essentially your gospel and your guide going into this tournament. So know where it's at, have it open at all times. It shows you who's playing who next, so find yourself. This is me right here. It's going to tell you who you're playing. At the top, it tells you what time you're playing. So for the first time ever, we have this super organized out. You can see what time each match is playing, and you can see where it's taking place at. So this currently says server 1. That means it might not be finalized. The day of, you'll be able to click this and you'll see an IP address. If it's something like this, it might be a realm. If you're not sure that you're invited to the realm, just ask. We'll probably have everyone invited by the day of, but just to make sure. So that's what's happening here. If you're new to this, we want to have as many matches as possible and give everyone a good chance at this tournament to have fun and get a win, or just have a good time or a fair match. So there is a loser's bracket, which means that if you lose once, you still are in the tournament. You have to lose twice to get eliminated. So if you're new, you're very likely to have a hard couple matches when you start. Most new players won't win their first 1 or 2 rounds. It's very difficult. Even good players don't win their first 1 or 2 rounds. So if you lose, don't get discouraged. It's unlikely that you will get very far in winners because people just get eliminated so quickly. But in losers, your first round in losers is very likely to be someone of similar skill level. So pick your head up, don't get too discouraged, and figure out where your losers match is. When you're in losers, you don't get any breaks. It's just back-to-back matches. And that doesn't mean it's going to be long. In the first hour, over half of people get eliminated. So it's just a fun bloodbath, everyone playing against each other. Just know where you're supposed to be when. All right. And do know that, yeah, your winners matches are probably going to be harder than your losers matches, so don't get discouraged. If you want to have a little bit more fun and you're looking at the bracket, we do have bracket predictions that you can do. This is just like where you say who's going to beat who, and you put in a prediction. Sometimes if you win, you have the best bracket prediction, you can get your head in the lobby, which is pretty cool. It's probably the easiest way to win something at this tournament, and it's fun. Even if you do it random, a lot of times these things are so chaotic that just kind of guessing might let you win that. Okay, so on a more technical side, let's get into tournament rules. Now, for general rules, you have to have 3 bars or more to play in a game. If you have 1 or 2 bars or lagging, you just can't play. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So show up early, join your server early, make sure that your internet's okay. If you're 4 minutes late to a match, you're instantly disqualified. That also goes for if your internet isn't good enough by that time, or if you're in a teams match, if your teammate isn't there in that time, then yeah, you instantly lose that match. Now, if you're lagging or you're late and you lose, don't necessarily leave, because you still, that only counts as losing 1 game, and you still get to play in the losers bracket. So if you still show up, stick around, because you can still do well in the losers bracket. One other thing to say is we discourage you watching the stream as you play, and that's because people who are watching your game might be giving advice or like criticizing or just like talking about the match, and it could be like coaching or just influence the match if you can hear what they're saying. We don't really enforce that, but we encourage you not to do that. It's just not a good thing. So if you're playing in your matches on stream, we encourage that you just mute the stream as you play. Okay. Now, as for the Duel TNT procedure itself, like settings wise, it's pretty freaking simple. It's basically the Duel TNT that you always know and love. Settings are normal, 3 lives, normal mode. It's just going to be 1 round and instant start off. So everyone, I mean, it's kind of optional, but just we say have instant start off. Teams, if you're singles, no teams. If it's teams, do teams. Pretty self-explanatory. The only thing you really have to learn is that there's a legal set of stages. Now, most people know this, but if you are new, we don't play on all maps. We only play on these specific maps right here. And you can also get this on the website if you're wondering. So know these maps. We've picked these maps because we think that they're the most fair to play in tournament. There's a lot of reasons for this, but we've just decided as a community, these are the best maps to play in tournament. So when you first start and both you and your opponent join the server, you have to decide what map to start on. And you do that by each eliminating 1 map at a time until there's only 1 map remaining. So if we did it this way, we take turns eliminating maps, and this is the last map remaining. That means we start on Nether Strong. And that means we eliminate, that means we go back and we play 1 match on Nether Strong. Now the loser of that match gets to pick any of the remaining maps to play on next. You can't go back on a map you've already played on, regardless if you won or lost. You only get to play each map once. But you do get to pick, if you lose, you do get to pick of any of the legal stages. So maybe I say I wanted to go to the end next if I lost, and I get to play on the end. And you take turns picking maps. The first one to win 3 games wins the set. So it's a best of 5, essentially. All classes are legal. All particles are legal. You can even go random or gardener or overlord, anything. The only rule regarding classes is you can switch between rounds. The loser gets second pick. So if the loser thinks they can counter the winner's character, the winner can still change their character, but they have to say what character they're playing before the loser decides their character. Okay? And you pick map after you pick character. Okay, that really comes into play, but just in case if you're wondering, that's the rules, and that's more detailed on the website if you want to read up more about it. Okay, that's about it. I do want to end this by saying thank you for joining. These things are a lot of fun. My advice to you, if you're coming into this, is get a good night's of sleep ahead of time, practice a little bit, and show up early. The thing is, these things are usually celebrations. We're here to have fun, host a fun stream, talk to each other, and see some like really awesome high level matches. Sometimes new players, they like show up late, or they show up and they play one match. They don't do very well, they get discouraged and they leave. And that's not really the point of it. We don't want you to stress, we just want to have fun. So stick around and enjoy the festivities. Watch the stream, see some high level matches, maybe get inspired. I'm going to get some sleep now, just as I recommend. I love y'all. Wish you luck at the tournament, and I'll see you all there.